morning. Um, I'm using my GoPro 7 today because I think my wifey poo. I took my big camera, and this is Wednesday, and I don't pay no attention really to days of the week and whatever, but I think her and Deb took off. Uh, don't know where they went. Shopping, probably a couple restaurants, maybe one or two restaurants, I don't know. So she took the camera with her because her and Deb is starting to get into this videoing thing. I'm using my GoPro 7, which I don't generally do video here at the house on the GoPro 7 when I'm doing these, but I do like to use it as a grab and go for several reasons. For those of you that's considering buying a GoPro but never have, or a sports camera, they are expensive. And of course, the camera is just one thing. Then you got to start buying all the stuff. GoPros are notorious for having terrible audio. So one of the first things you're going to have to buy is an external microphone system of some kind. Rode, R-O-D-E, is the big name. That's what I've got. And they come in different sizes, different prices. Just get the one that kind of fits the camera. So you'll have to set up some type of handheld. I've got a handheld. I don't even know what you want to call a darn thing. Joystick, kind of like. But it also turns into a tripod for setting it up and doing things like this. And then I've also got a big metal thing that I bought. I don't even know what you call it, as an adapter. And you got to buy a couple of shoes. So the shoe is a thing that, like the microphone, it has a little square end on it that'll slide into the shoe, and then you can tighten it up and hold it in place. So you got to buy a couple of those. And I got this big square thing that's got threaded pieces all around it, in front of it, and on top of it, and on bottom of it. So I can add things. Well, on the GoPro 7, in their infinite wisdom of designing things, you cannot plug the microphone directly into the camera. You have to buy this little square adapter, also made by the GoPro people. Now that has like a plug on it that resembles your cell phone. And it plugs into the camera. It's a little square box. And on the end of that square box is the round, I think it's 3.5 millimeter plug or something like that. It plugs into that side of the box. So now you have to find some place to put this little square adapter box. That box, by the way, is another $50. So that's how I ended up with this square metal piece, because I could Velcro that box down on top of it. And then you have to get the little GoPro adapter, camera adapter holder device that goes on the bottom of the camera that holds it onto this. It's just a constant amount of crap you got to buy. And that just gets it on my tripod. If I want to take this GoPro camera and, I don't know, put it on a selfie stick where I can maybe take video over a tall fence, take video over a crowd, those kinds of things, that's just more stuff you have to have. The next thing you're going to end up with is a suitcase with the camera, the UV lenses, the microphones, the adapters, stuff. So I don't use it much, but the thing that I love about this GoPro 7, by the way, they're waterproof. The GoPro 5 is waterproof. I don't know about the 6. I never had one, but I can only assume it's waterproof because the 7 is waterproof. And when I say waterproof, trust me, everything's got to be in place for it to be waterproof. Some people seem to think you can take the side doors off of them and they're waterproof. No. That side door's got to not only be on, it's got to be 100% fully closed. I mean, you got to push it until you hear it snap into place. Everything's got to be sealed on it. That's why all the doors, all the windows has a little round rubber like O-ring on it. Makes it waterproof down to, I believe, 30 feet. So you start getting down in a little bit of more pressure in the water, then it's probably going to fail. But I've had this one in water, in a swimming pool, playing around, just playing with it really. I've had it as low as, what is the deepest part of that pool? I want to say like 8 feet maybe. And it performed perfect. I had no problem whatsoever with it. So I do know it's waterproof down to that point. Now, will I ever use it in water? I don't know. It's just nice to know that it is. Also, the GoPro 7 automatically flips, unless you shut that off, of course, like your cell phone. In other words, if I'm videoing on it coming straight up, and let's say I'm in a boat, and there's a manatee, and I want to get a picture of that manatee underwater. If I take my stick and turn it upside down like that and stick it in the water, the video will automatically flip to keep it right side up. That's pretty nice. So anyway, I love my GoPro 7 as a grab and go. Also on them, and I don't know if I can show you here. Can you see that? You can connect your cell phone to the camera because it doesn't have a flip out. I've had people send me emails about that saying it doesn't flip out. How do you know it's positioned right? I can see it on my cell phone. You can connect your cell phone to you can connect your cell phone to almost everything anymore, electronical. But I connect my cell phone to that camera, and then I can see it. And I can also control it. I can shut it off, I can turn it on, I can video, I can change it to a snapshot. I can change it to a lot of things. The thing I really love about this camera, the reason why I got it more than anything, I believe this was the first camera after the 5 that came out with a video stabilizer, and it works really well. This is the camera that goes on top of my golf cart when I'm riding around. That's why the film, so to speak, video, seems smooth. A lot smoother than the 5. No jittering, and trust me, all the golf cart trails are not smooth. Because the heat down here, the asphalt will buckle, and you get jitteries, and there's where they're building that new wood shop next to the fire station where they cut the electricity across. That's a little bump right there. But I noticed on the video that bump virtually is non-detectable. So the stabilizer works really well. If I'm walking around the house, I'm showing you a home, and I usually do the outside around the house first to show you the outside. Well, as I'm walking around that house, it's a lot smoother. It's a lot nicer to look at. I have used my big camera to do that, and I try to go as slow as I can and as smooth as I can. And even though I have stabilization on the big camera, it is nothing like this. It just doesn't come out as smooth or as clean. I think the video is a lot sharper. This is a 4K camera here, but just between me and you and the gatepost, I think the 1080 that I have on the big count as clear, if not a little clearer, than this so-called 4K. One of the disadvantages to a 4K camera like this one is when you do video like I'm doing now, when I go to download this into the computer, it takes longer to download it into the computer, for one. Two is, depending on how long the video is, it puts segments of the videos into different files. So if you've got a 20-minute long video, you might have 4 files on this camera that goes into your computer. Maybe. Not always. Maybe. I'm not sure what. And it does it automatically. So I don't know what determines that. Another thing is when I go to edit it. Editing's fine. I don't have any problem with that because I don't like editing very much anyway. But as time goes on, I'm having to do more and more of it. But once I edit it, and then I got to download the edit to a file in my computer. And then once I get it in that computer, now I go to my YouTube channel. If I'm going to put that on YouTube, I have to go to my YouTube channel. I have to, get in to my account. And now I want to download that file into the YouTube channel. Because it is 4K, it will take 2 or 3 times longer to download that than the other camera. And I do that because, like today, I got no choice. The main reason why I'm cutting this video, as I got babbling on here about the camera, drink of the day this morning is I got my cappuccino machine, I guess, or my espresso machine out. Got my new grind. Got my Lavazza coffee beans out, and I made me a nice cappuccino. A little strong. It's an eye opener. But contacts. People have sent me a lot of emails. Well, not really emails, but comments once in a while. And then if it's a non-related issue to a video, I read the comments, but then I'll delete it because it doesn't really have anything to do with the video itself. And you know, that's what my email's all about. If it's a personal question or something, I'd rather you email it. Don't put it on a video that you know, hey, what kind of beer do you like? What's that got to do with, let's say, a golf video? I don't know. So that's what the email's all about. But a lot of people say they can't find my email address. Well, I did a video about that too. You're going to have to keep going through the videos. It'd probably be, I don't know what it would be under I got a whole list of videos down there that's in files. Golf cart rides and fun stuff. It might be in there. But anyway, there's files down there. And I think they go into files according to date. Somebody's asking me on my news and whatever if I would put the dates on there. You know, I don't mind doing that. Here's the problem with that. I'm an old man. I keep forgetting. It's just that simple. So anyway, I'll try to remember to put dates on the news once in a while. It might be in the title, or I might put the date actually in the video itself somewhere. I don't know. It all depends on when I remember. If I'm halfway through editing and I go, oh crap, I forgot to put the date in there, I might just stick it in right there. I mean, that's what I'll do. Is it professional? No. Listen, my channel is not Channel 8 News. It's not NBC. It's not CBS. It's a one-man show. It's just me and more of me. And I video things in the villages only to help those that's thinking about buying down here, spending $250,000 and up. I mean, there's property here that's over $1 million. And so I just try to put a little bit out there to kind of give you an idea what life is like here as a retired person. And not everybody here is retired, even though it's a retirement community. I don't, you know, that's another fallacy that it's a bunch of retired people. Well, it is a lot of retired people. Not everybody here is retired. Even some that are people that's retired from their full-time job, they come down here and they're working part-time doing things. I mean, it's just an active community. And when I say active, I don't necessarily mean they play golf every day. I don't necessarily mean they play tennis every day, or down here it's all about pickleball. Some of these people, they work part-time jobs every 4 or 5 days a week, or 3 days a week, or whatever. Some guys, people down here, they start their own little companies. You can't have, quote, you can't have a business in your house. In other words, you can't... there's things you can do and there's things you can't do. I know the things you're not supposed to do, but as long as you keep it under wraps, so to speak, there's a lot of things you can do as long as you're not disturbing your neighbors, as long as you're not parking street cars all over the streets, as long as you don't have customers coming to your house, 8 or 10 cars parked on the street every day. Those kinds of things, you're going to create a disturbance. You're going to create a problem. There's going to be a complaint, and then it'll go on from there. But I know a guy that come down here, and for about the first year of his retirement, he had a great time. He played golf every day, and he got bored with it. And then he started doing pickleball, and you know, he just felt like he was a young retiree. He was probably about 59, and so what he done was he started his own little house washing business, which creates no problem at all. He's got the high-powered washer that he probably bought at Home Depot or someplace. It's a big one. And he got this, he's got a pickup truck himself. And when he gets ready to go out, he tries to wash all the houses, you know, in the same week. He has it scheduled, so he doesn't do this daily every day of the month. It's in a week, and he'll do like 30 or 40 homes in 1 week. And they're regular customers. And so he puts this washer in the back of his pickup. He has lines that, the water lines that are extremely long. He can walk around houses everywhere. So he's bought a lot of extra stuff. He's got this commercial grade, like 1-inch hose for rinsing the houses off. And he's got this little tank. It's a polyurethane tank, kind of like what you see a farmer have, but a lot smaller. And it sits in the back of his truck. And I think that's where he mixes the chemicals, the sprays on people's houses for the dirt and things like that. And then he takes it in his truck and he just goes out and he'll back in their driveway and hook everything up and do their house. And, you know, that's his little business. He goes home, all that comes out of the truck, and he can park it in his garage, parks his pickup truck in the garage, shuts the door, out of sight, out of mind, if you're kind of getting my drift. And he's never had a problem. And I wouldn't have a problem with him as a next door neighbor either. But those are the things you can do if you use your common sense. And I do sometimes wonder about common sense and where it went, because it seems like a lot of people just don't have it. But anyway, pseudonyms out. I just thought I'd answer a couple of questions. The email's below every video, just so that you'll know. I'll put it on this video too. It's G1, number 1, RUMP, number 2, Y, at gmail.com. That stands grumpy, but I had to put a number in there. It wouldn't take my, it will be from 1500 and up, or wherever it is at the time that they say it's suitable. And so I'm losing that revenue. And I watch that. So what I've been doing here lately, only because I'm just being pig-headed, I guess, you know, but it's just the idea of it. I post the video on YouTube, but you're not seeing it. I download it on YouTube, and I watch it. On Wednesday's video, it's very possible Wednesday's video can be on YouTube on Monday, and on Tuesday I'll look at it. If it's not flagged, then I'll schedule it to go on at 6 a.m. Wednesday. But on Tuesday, here lately, it's flagged. So what I do is I don't post it. I send them in for a manual view. And then once they send me a message back saying, we reviewed it and we found it to be acceptable for advertisement, at that time, I go on to the YouTube channel and I release it to the public so that I get my monetization from that video from day one. So that's why the timing sometimes on these are a little off. So I know when you're getting up with your coffee, you're turning it on, I'm not there today, and you're going to be wondering, what's going on? That's what's going on. I'm not sick. I got no health problems. You know, everybody keeps sending me emails about, I'm concerned about your breathing. I have no breathing problems. I've been to my doctor many times. Trust me down here, they send you in for tests everywhere all the time because Medicare pays for it, and they're sucking every dollar they can get out of Medicare. It's this microphone, not just this one, but it's the other microphone, the big camera. That's a high-dollar microphone, and it's so sensitive, I haven't learned how to use it, really. I don't even think about it. But you ever watch singers on stage, like opera? Believe it or not, I've been there. I've been to opera. My wife loves big operatic music stuff. Me, not so much, but she does, so I go. But they'll sing, and when they get to a certain pitch, you ever watch them? They'll hold that microphone out like that, because if they hold it up here, it's going to pick up too much stuff. Like, you know, they're breathing in. You know, they have to suck in air in order to sing. That microphone will breathe that or pick that up. Well, that's what's happening with this big microphone I got. I'm walking around just like I'm doing right now. I'm walking around, and every time I stop and I suck in air to talk, that microphone is so sensitive it just picks up all that. If I get it too, and I've had to cut video because I've held the, one time I thought, I wonder if I could take the microphone and shove it in my shirt pocket and leave it in there and talk, and maybe it'd kind of buffer things. The microphone picked up my heartbeat. You could hear it all through the video. So I had to do away with that. I do have a couple other microphones that I was going to try to use for walking around houses and things like that, because that's where you're picking up the breathing problem, as you put it. They're wireless. You know, you carry the box on your back somewhere, and then you pin the microphone up here, and it's all wireless. And there's another piece that plugs into the camera that's wireless that communicates. I got that. I used it out here in the Lanai one time just to try it out on the video, and I watched the video. I didn't have the volume set right. It seemed to me it was too loud, that when I talked, it was just too loud, almost to the point of being distorted. So I have to learn how to get the settings and everything right. But I thought about using that, and it's also a buffered mic, so it shouldn't pick up a lot of wind noise and things. That's what these are. They're all buffered. But they will pick up a little no matter what, but it should cut out a lot of it. And, you know, but here's the thing. It's in the camper, and I haven't been up there to get anything, and, you know, so if I get up there, I'll bring them home. But then I got to take them back when we get ready to go somewhere. And I just get tired of shuffling stuff back and forth all the time. But anyway, I'm fine. Everything's fine. There's no issues here. So thanks for the concern, but there's no concern. So I'm going to get out of here. This video is going too long now. And I got more to talk about to kind of tune you in. By the way, real quick, I went down. I'm checking on the bridge as much as I can. It's still there. I don't see no inclinations of moving. I know we're getting close. I don't know the exact date. Rumors run wild around here. Everybody seems to know something, but nobody really knows nothing. And I even talked to the cop down there, because I know they know when they're going to start blocking that road off. They got to know when they're going to start blocking that road off. So that's what I'm asking, not about the bridge. I'm asking them, say, hey, I see that they got the orange barrels out there. What's going on out there? And, oh, well, we're going to put that bridge up over there, and we have to monitor the traffic, and we'll be moving them barrels back and forth from one lane to the other, you know, so for the traffic. Oh, I see that bridge. I act dumb. So, I see that bridge. When are they going to install that? Here's what I got. Sometime we think around August 19th, sometime during that week. We don't know the exact time. They're going to let us know. The contractor's going to let us know. And at that point, then we've got our strategies. And at that point, then we'll start executing things. We don't know where they're going to start, exactly how they're going to start, and we'll start blocking the lanes off as they need it. Okay. And that's what I get. So nobody really knows nothing. The cops don't even know. And if they do, they're being very tight-lipped. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here, you guys. I hope the camera was okay. I got a feeling it wasn't perfect, but it is what it is. I'll see you guys on the other side.